We're loading into Hollywood. We are going to Los Angeles, North America. This is Reunited versus Prets, best of 3 in our, I think, what, the quarterfinals? Yeah, winners bracket quarterfinals here. So, yeah, we'll kick it off. It is going to be Prets on defense first. Prets bringing back the Symmetra on defense here. That's going to be played by Tonic. Mistakes will be on the Mercy. Nalir is on Soldier 76. Buho is going to be on the Roadhog. Claws on Lucio for the moment. That's probably just to get the Symmetra out faster. He'll be switching, I would imagine, to a Reinhardt and Faizu on a defensive Pharah.
All right, meanwhile, take a look here at the offense for Reunited as they set up. I don't expect anything too much in the way of weird tricks or setups, but it will be Winghaven on the Reinhardt, Cruz on the Lucio, Voltaja not on McCree, but Reaper instead, Morta and Merce unfixed on the Pharah, and Kib going to be on Genji. And Kib has been sort of the new Genji specialist for Reunited in the wake of the departure of Too Easy.
Yep, so a lot of this is always going to depend on if the Symmetra can get a teleporter up quickly. Gonna try to be chunking through there, maybe get some turrets up, but really we've seen Symmetras not be super effective today. They're getting to 100%, then dying before a teleporter can go down. So it's a lot is going to rely on Tonic here. Of course, if they can stop the first couple fights, it's going to be good for them. But I think they're going to get probably hunted down even when that teleporter goes up. And that's one of the powers of Genji here.
All right, so Genji right now eats a rocket in the very beginning, charging up Pharah a little bit. But that's going to be fully topped off here in just a moment. Reunited on the way. We'll see if Reunited plays this slower, plays this fast. It does appear that they're taking a quicker route right now. We'll see if they hop onto point in just a moment. Teams have been a little bit more quick to go in on offense as a general rule the last week or so, but a big hook off comes in from Buho, takes out Kib immediately. 65 in favor of the defensive Prets, and this is a good look for them. They don't have to worry about the Genji charging up Dragon Blade. Buho taking a little bit of damage there as Winghaven gets right on top of the point.
Yeah, they're not backing out.
Goes for the look on Unfixed, not able to get it. Now finds Winghaven right behind them. This is all sorts of bad for Buho. He gets taken out. That is not what he wanted there gameplay-wise. Reunited now has a double kill in their favor. They're moving in. Winghaven piles on, gets one more extra kill. Symmetra's going to go down. She won't have a teleporter up. And Reunited, just like that, going to take control of this point. And I feel like a lot of that's on Buho. Buho missed his hook, got caught out, got flanked by a Reinhardt of all things. You can't have that happen on your defense.
No, not at all. I just really was impressed with how aggressive they continued to be after losing Kib. I know they thought he was going to be able to reinforce if they could just hold on to that fight, but they were so aggressive. Like, they just took the 5v6 and ran with it. Winghaven continues to be aggressive as he charges onto second roof.
United, they are controlling the rooftops right now. They force the defense back onto the secondary jail rooftop of all things. And you look at Reunited too, they are set on ultimates right now. They have Death Blossom, they have Barrage. Even soon they have Dragon Blade, everything in their favor. They're soon to have a Sound Barrier as well, so this is rough here for Prets. They are down on resources. Unfixed and Winghaven pick up 2 more kills, and that's not going to help their situation. They only didn't use anything there health-wise. I thought they used an Earth Shot. That was oh my goodness, this is all sorts of rough. Kib right now piling on, gets 2 extra kills, building up his ultimate in the process.
Well, they lost the 2 because they decided they weren't going to deal with Roof if they could just go back and clean up the 2 who are on the cart. So they took a 2v2 over there and just got crushed in it. Like, they tried to run Nalir over there, but he ended up getting taken out as well. So they chose to ignore the Roofs, favoring to instead fight near the cart, and that was the wrong choice for them as well. Kib gets another kill on Nalir.
And you look at Reunited right now, they have every single ultimate ready to use here, and ideally for Reunited, they don't even have to use all of them, but you want to make sure that they win this fight no matter what. So they're going to open with Sound Barrier. Voltage is going to go in for the Death Blossom, and maybe Unfixed will drop right after that. But here comes Dragon Blade here from Kib. Sound Barrier yet to be used. In fact, Cruz gets picked off early. So not quite what Reunited wants, but they still get 4 or 5 kills, even without using Sound Barrier, and that actually works out for them because guess what? They're going to have Sound Barrier for the next fight, Hex.
Yeah, I had to use a couple ults there, but it's their damage ults. They should be able to charge up pretty quickly. Kib gets another kill there. He's been wrecking face as he was able to take down Mistakes early in that fight as well, making sure that they weren't going to have a resurrection available. Reunited's just rolling right now. Look unstoppable. Have not been even slowed down this map.
Yeah, everything has gone well for Reunited, and I'm a little bit surprised. I thought Prets would come out a little bit stronger, but starting with what happened on their first point defense, it just got rough from there. And again, I'm not going to pile on one person, say it's one person's fault, but you know, that's a case where maybe Buho gets a little bit further back. Things go a little bit differently, but right now he's on the Genji looking to backline, has Morte in the sights. Morte has no idea he's there, gets immediately taken out. A beautiful play by Buho. Rez does come out here from the stakes, as well as a Soundbearer. Soundbearer out on both sides. Visor's Barrage striking Pedro, gets a double kill, looking for a little bit more as Buho, and Winghaven out on an island right now. Should be going down soon. Here comes Kib, a very late Dragon Blade, and oh man, Kib, why do you do this? I think last time we saw Reunited too, there was sort of a trend of Kib not always using ult in the right situation. That just piles on to that trend. Morte does get back in the fight, does get the res. Reunited actually not have it just yet. Imagine if they still had a Dragon Blade right now. Alex.
Yeah, I mean, they're still fighting this, though. Winghaven has just been unwilling to give up fights, it seems, from the first fight to this point now. Here comes a Dragon Blade from the other side. Buho gets taken down immediately. A rough day for the Shimada.
Aller was going up the Deadeye, was immediately taken out. Voltage just going to spin, and Death Blossom on the cart. And that's going to be it. A time of... So 4:33 was remaining here. That means that it was...
4:27?
4:27, yeah. Pretty quick time coming out from Reunited here. Not quite what I expected coming in.
I mean, that's a super fast Hollywood time. They just never got stopped. Never really even slowed down. There's a couple moments where towards the end, but every time they were even slightly slowed down, they just continued to fight. They didn't care if they were down a couple. They figured they could get some trades the next time. I mean, the first fight was exactly like that, as they did draw first blood. They did lose someone very early, but then Winghaven said, it's fine. I'll just probably get a couple kills here and we'll just fight it out. And that's exactly what they did. Winghaven played very aggressive on his Reinhardt that game, and it totally paid off for him.
Yeah, no, Winghaven, and the fine thing with Winghaven is that you look at his progression as Reinhardt. We don't bring it up as much anymore since we sort of expect good Reinhardt plays coming out from him, but, you know, there was a point where he was way too over-aggressive way back in the day. He reined it in, and now he just knows when he can usually be aggressive and get away with it, and definitely worked out for him there on the offense. Meanwhile, though, looking at the defense coming out here from the side of Reunited, it's going to be unfixed here on the Pharah. Voltaja on the Reaper once again. Cruz on the Lucio, Morte on Mercy. Winghaven going to be on the Reinhardt, and Kib rounding things out here on the Roadhog.
Yeah, he used to be a little more consistent on his Reinhardt, too. He either had great games or poor games. Now he's been consistent and consistently pretty good. So they've definitely gotten better play out of Winghaven in the most recent months, of course. Now on offense, Nalir will be playing the offensive Reaper. Tonic on Lucio. Buho will play Roadhog. Claus is going to tank it up on Zarya. Mistakes, of course, on Mercy. Faizu on Pharah. No Symmetra on defense. Poor day for Symmetra. Hasn't worked out for any team, so I kind of get it, but I miss him.
No, it's been rough for Symmetra. I agree. Has not had the greatest success rate. It almost feels like Symmetra is more of a win-more hero, where you would have won the fight anyways, but hey, since you're winning 5v6, have a teleporter on top of it, so you really don't lose anything. Either way, the fight is underway. The offense not wasting any time. Prets getting right into it. Buho being super aggro.
Morte down.
Takes out Morte as a result. Enlar able to take a Voltaja. 2 kills here for the Prets. And they're moving in. Down goes Winghaven. A final hook coming in. Just like that, Buho able to set the table here for the Prets, and it's going to be a very first cap, or quick cap for them on point A.
That was the fight they needed, too. Like you said, it was an extremely fast time from Reunited on their offense, so that's exactly what Prets needed there to win that fight decisively early on. Now they've already got some pressure on Roof, so Reunited has given up the Ghost and is just going to try to take second Roof.
Second the objective. Come on up.
I mean, really, Reunited, just if they win one fight, it's almost out of reach already. That's how fast their offense was.
This payload's up.
Yeah, Reunited, for them, they don't really have to do too much here. As you said, they take one fight, it's going to be it for them, but it's still, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how things work out here. They do have the full rooftop control. What they don't have really as much in the way of ultimates, and Kib gets picked off. He goes a little bit too aggro. Buho there at the immediate punish. Now 6v5, 6v4. The Earthsharer does come down from Winghaven, one of the only ultimates that Reunited has. Winghaven ends up going super deep into the defensive territory. Working out for him, though. He's not dead just yet. He's going through the hotel. The res does come out here from the side of the offense. Voltaja going to get hooked right in. And Buho's been having himself a game. Hook after hook right now coming in. Justice raining from above from Faizu.
Yeah, he's been playing killer.
Reunited, I don't know if you can really qualify that as a fight win for them. They did force out the res, but This is working out for the side of the Prets. Again, time-wise, they don't have that much time. They only have 2.5 minutes, but they're going to get through most of the Streets phase off of that fight. And if they take this next fight decisively, they have a chance of beating this time.
Yeah, they have good positioning here, and Nalir is going to be set up for his Death Blossom drop down is what he's looking for now. That's why he's hiding even on the rooftop. Kib does come in and spots him, though, knows that drop down is possible.
Malar coming in here with the Death Blossom for Prets, setting them up. The Voltaja coming in turn, gets taken out immediately. 2 kills here for the Prets, 1 for Reunited. Malar moving in. Farah almost dying as a result. Unfix has to evac in a hurry. Still holding on to his barrage. Gets the juggle on the Enlar. Down he goes. And Reunited now is trying to put this back in their favor. And again, this could already be GG. They don't have to wait for much. The res does come out. Last gas spear for the Prets. Buho looking for the hook. Brings Unfix back down to earth. He gets slam dunked over the top by the Farah. 3 kills now. 4 kills for Prets. Faizu cleaning up after that resurrection. Time-wise, though, Hex, there's only a minute 30 left. So even though Prets hasn't really lost a fight yet, they need to win it a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, Buho has been nailing hooks all game, but he missed the one he really needed there, which was going to be on Morte, who was in the sky before Morte res. Like, he almost had him. It was so close. If he gets that and Morte dies and unable to resurrect his team, they win that fight much quicker, like you mentioned, but they still have a little bit over a minute to finish out this map. Not impossible, but very improbable.
Time-wise, everything has to go well for the Prets here. They need to not just win the fight, they need to win it very quickly. And you look at this, Kib does have Dragon Blade at the ready. We'll see if he has a better Dragon Blade than he's had so far here in the day. Earthshock comes down here from Winghaven. Now slicing and dicing towards the back is Kib. Not able to really get in on anything right now, just looks dazed and confused. Lucky for Reunited, though, Unfix was in the back and got the double kill. Cruz following through, able to take out Enlar, and that's GG right here. Prets is not going to be able to retake this. Hollywood will be won by Reunited. Good offenses, though, coming out from both teams.
Yeah, Prets actually really impressed me there, despite the fact that they're not going to be able to win this map. They had everything going for them. They won the first couple fights that they needed to. That first offense was really strong there. Buho had a great game on his Roadhog. Got kill after kill. I think it was just really that one hook he missed on Morte and unable to take him out before the resurrection was probably the hook that he would like to have back the most.
I've mentioned this before for Reunited, but I don't know if Kib is their permanent new member,
yes.
But they really need to have a talk with Kib about his usage of ultimates, because his usage of ultimates right now is definitely below comp standard. There's so many times where he uses ult and gets absolutely nothing. And that happens to the best of us from time to time, but it happens just way too often.
It has been.
It's been a trend. It was a trend the last time we saw Reunited. It's been a trend here today. We'll see if it carries on into the next map, but I don't know. He just, relative to other players, just not always getting good value off his ult. Am I lobby leader right now?
I know I'm not. He is officially on the team, by the way. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Okay. No, I am not lobby leader.
Whew. Who is lobby leader? Claus is.
Was.
Okay, so we'll see what map that Prets wants to go to next. This is, of course, a best of 3. Reunited took the first map, so as Claus is the lobby leader, he's going to set it to Dorado, which I imagine is going to be our next map. And now we're going to decide sides, I believe.
I think they're ready. They're just asking for ready. We'll see if Reunited wants to take attack or not. Reunited oftentimes content with being on defense. Sometimes teams don't even care about what side they're on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Caster's ready. We'll see if we switch up. If we do, we'll swap the overlay here in just a moment.
Yep, so I was actually pretty impressed with Prets there. I expected it to be a little more one-sided. Reunited is a dominant top 5 team in EU. They've looked really good. Prets, as you've said, have always been kind of on the up and coming. But their offense looked every bit as good as Reunited's. Just Reunited's was a little bit faster. I mean, they set a blazing time, but Prets looked good burning through those first couple points.
Well, Buho, it's sort of interesting. He had sort of a bad defensive setup for Prets, but his offense was great. He was getting pick after pick, and really a main reason as to why Prets was able to get through there, at least in the early to middle parts of that game. Later on, it was more Faizu that was really carrying the load there, but it was good stuff coming out from Prets. Morte saying they're ready, so it will be Reunited on the defense first, as it turns out.
Yeah. see if we maybe see a Symmetra here on Dorado. She's been on here earlier today. Again, it's been a rough day for Symmetra. They're not actually getting teleporters up or used properly. So, I mean, you might be right. She might just be out because it's a win more mechanic that you would have won the fight. But I mean, if you can win those first 2 fights, she becomes an imposing presence. And it's kind of like having 2 Mercies and in single hero limit, getting all the resurrection capabilities you can to really lengthen fights is definitely in your favor, but it does not look like Reunited is going to run a Symmetra, unfortunately.
Well, the other thing, too, is that teams have gotten a lot better at getting to backline and dealing with teleporters as well. So, like, not only are you taking the big risk in running the Symmetra until you can get the teleporter up, but there's no guarantee that the teleporter will actually be up when you need it.
Yeah.
That's sort of the other half of the equation as well.
Teleporters are just getting hunted down, I think, at every level. I dropped 3 teleporters yesterday playing Sim. On that game, I got nano boosted, which was awesome. And they killed him, like, immediately. I think I got maybe 3 people through 3 different teleporters. It was just, they die pretty easily. They're pretty common. If you spot a Sim, the next thing you do is just go hunt down for her teleporter. So, no telly coming up for Reunited is going to be Valotaja on Zarya. Unfixed will play Pharah, Morte on Mercy, Cruz on Lucio, Kib on Reaper, and Winghaven on Winston.
Alright, meanwhile, take a look here at the offense as it sets up for the side of the Prets. Is going to be Faizu on the Pharah, Buho on Genji, Tonic going to be on the Lucio, Claws on the Zarya, Mistakes on Mercy, and Nalar going to be on the offensive Tracer. So Tracer, Genji both being represented here by Prets. They used it, of course, in the last set, worked out pretty well. We'll see if it works out here. Not a combination you see all that often nowadays, but there was a point where it was absolutely dominant in the Overwatch scene.
Yeah, Reunited trying this again. This is, of course, what Envy did to Code 7 and just crushed them at first point. Envy tried this the other day. It did not work out for them. This very aggressive first hold on Dorado. Or Reunited.
So it works out for Reunited. Or yeah, Reunited tried it. It did not work out. They got wiped down. They lost point A really quickly as a result. And they're applying pressure right now, but I don't know if it's working out the way they want. They are certainly no Envy right now as Enlar able to take out Morte in the very beginning. They're going to be down to Mercy here. Well, and bear in mind, the offense gets back here really quickly, so if you lose anyone, this can very quickly fall apart.
It's working out a lot better than it did the other day, though. They lost 4 immediately. Now they're actually definitely winning this fight. They only dropped the 1 player there in their Mercy. They do have a second support here, though, so everyone's going to stay topped off. Yeah, this is so frustrating to play against.
The problem is that Mercy is still really, really far back. They've had to play without Mercy for a long time. Anyone who dies is just gone forever, effectively, given how long the run back is to the spawn point. Thus far, though, Prets has had trouble getting the first kills that they're looking for. The problem is that if they get 1 to 2 kills, it's going to be very easy for them to snowball in the favor. The Graviton does come out here from the defense's Kib, follows through, gets the double kill. Reunited now with a whole lot of ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the response was after Envy did this, too, is that it's really easy to snowball this because just how ultimates work. You start kind of cracking those, you get a couple kills, and you're able to just really roll up front. This is,
It's working out for Reunite here. It still doesn't feel quite as deadly as when Envy did it, but they haven't been losing people. I think the only person that died early on was Morte. They've had to hold a little bit further up, but for now it has been problematic for Prets in dealing with this right now.
They're going to need their own ults and combos to break out of this now. They do have Graviton, they do have Barrage. Here comes Graviton.
Yep, Sound Barrier comes out here. Buho now unsheathing the Dragon Blade, looking for Morte in the back. Will be slicing out Morte really on. 3 kills here from the Prets. And this is the downside for trying to keep a team in their base. It's going to be 4 kills in. And look at positioning. Hex are going to be able to get in the courtyard now.
Yeah, they will be able to get in. I mean, I think one of the reasons that teams are okay doing that, though, is if you do lose everyone up front there, then you can still fight in the courtyard. Your positioning is going to be pretty bad, as they're getting kind of spammed out even on their way in. Valotage is all alone over here, but you're not giving up courtyard completely. You're going to fight into it, but yeah, good job by Prets here to punish them for that aggressive hold.
So Reunited is going to get back into the courtyard. They do not have the positioning they would like, but they are going to try and get on the payload right away. And actually, I don't like what Prets is doing here. Prets just conceded a lot of space that they didn't really need to concede. Kib and Winghaven get right back into it. And Faizu going to lose the Pharah duel, so 3 kills here from Reunited. They force out the res immediately. Graviton Surge on the way. Group hug treatment for everyone that just got rezzed as Unfixed over the top. Gets a quad kill. No barrage required, just normal left-click rockets.
And really getting down to it for Prets, probably their last push incoming. They bleed a couple players late, so it's going to be about 40 seconds on the clock when they're all together. Only Barrage to work with. There's going to be a Dragon Blade. Mistakes pretty far away from that res. It charges quickly, but he might have it if they do a prolonged fight.
No Dragon Blade on the way. Switches to Roadhog for the very last moment here, so...
Okay.
Probably would have been better to go with the Dragon Blade at that point. I mean, I understand Roadhog is good, but either way, offense moves in, and Mistakes though goes down immediately. There's not going to be a res. 2 kills here, and even though Morte goes down in turn, not really looking good here for the offense. Reunited, they only need 1 or 2 more kills to really make this around. Winghaven deep in the back line, holding on to Earthshatter. Might just need to use it here in a moment. Because if you chain 1 or 2 more deaths here, is the offense really going to have another time to get back in?
No,
I don't think so.
I think he's just going to wait for them to come in and Earthshatter them. I would have stayed up front here, though, and Earthshatter them before they got to the cart. He's choosing to play it a little more defensively.
All right, Pfizer coming over the top. Here comes a Barrage. Gets 1 kill. Looks for a little bit more. Lays on to Zarya. Soundbearer, though, going to save the rest of the members there. Kib getting in now. Unfixed. Holding on to Barrage as well. Just rocket after rocket coming in. Enlar going to fall. And Reunited in front control of the payload here. Here comes a Barrage. He saw the mistake. Saw the res coming up. And Enlar going down once again. Barrage just a little bit too strong here as Reunited. They're going to hold here, X.
Yeah, just going to try to clean up the cart as they do trickle up onto it. That is a Death Blossom, a good way to clear the cart. And yeah, aggressive holds. It's the new thing, I guess, on Dorado. We saw Reunited try it the other day, and like, well, they're clearly not NB because they got rocked when they first tried it. Clearly, they put some practice in on it. Things went better for them there, and it happens because you start getting a couple kills, then you have ult advantage up front. It gets really hard to push out of, and even if you lose, you're fighting so far up that you should be able to get back. Not in the best position, but you can fight off courtyard again then too. So you're not really, it's not completely all in. It's just putting yourself at a disadvantage if you do get cleaned up. But Prets is going to have to full hold here if they want to stay in this winner bracket. Because if Reunited wins this, they win the set and move forward.
Really a good look here from Reunited. And yeah, I mean, the aggressive defense, I didn't really think it was going to work out for them. I thought we were going to have a repeat. And even though Prets is able to wipe them out decisively, they did not get the positioning they need in courtyard to really punish Reunited fully for it. Reunited was able to get back in, they got the positioning back, and that was it for Prets.
All right, well, this Prets defense that has to full hold here is going to be running pretty standard. It looks like Tonic will be on Lucio, Faizu on the Pharah, Claus is going to be playing the Zarya, Nalir is on Reaper, Mistakes on Mercy, and Buho is going to play a defensive Winston.
Alrighty, well, taking a look here at Reunited as they're saying up here on the offense. Going to be Winghaven on the Reinhardt, Kib on Roadhog, Morte on Mercy, Voltage going to be on the Reaper, Unfixed on Pharah, and Cruz going to be on Lucio. And here's a irony here, Hex. I feel like the offense or the defense of Prets should be going as far up as Reunited did here, just because look at where the payload has to get to. It doesn't have to go very far. Their only chance is really going for the spawn door defense.
Yeah, that's a completely valid point that I overlooked. That they don't need to push the cart much further. So yeah, they are going to try to run this aggressive defense. We'll see if it works out for them.
So they're moving it right in. They're not wasting any time. Cruzo takes out Buho immediately. The defense already down on Winston. Reunited in the driver's seat. They're just going to leisurely move forward. Mistakes goes down. And anything that could go wrong for Prets right now is going wrong. Even as Faizu eats a mid-air rocket as well.
Yeah, a couple kills from Reunited. They are making progress. They're cleaning up now as that is a triple kill coming from Kib and Unfixed combined. They have the positioning to hold in front of the cart. Windhaven's just going to set up by the doorways, try to deny any entrance here.
Kib taking out Tonic, and this might be over before it has really even begun. Kib with the whole hog, just keeping the defense from even getting back in. Mows down Buho, forces out the Wraith for him. It's Reunited. Only need 1 or 2 more kills to do this here, and they don't even let the defense touch the point. So Reunited taking that in a very firm and decisive 2-0, and we were talking about the entire idea of the Reunited matchup. Well, Prets dealt with Reunited pretty well, and Reunited just completely destroyed Prets. So I feel like if Reunited and Reunited ever do fight, it's going to be pretty one-sided right now.
Yeah, I mean, transitive property doesn't always work that way, but I would tend to agree with you there. Reunited, you know, they have not really missed a step since dropping too easy from the roster. Kib's been a serviceable replacement at least. Yes, his Dragon Blades have been suspect here and there, but through and through, his DPS has been fine play for them. There's still mostly the core roster that has been a dominant force in Europe for a long time, and they continue to show up and make it to semis and finals of tournaments pretty much every one they enter. So Reunited will be moving forward. They will face the winner of SG1 versus a deathmatch gang, who, like I mentioned, gave Rogue some trouble earlier when they played. They did lose that set, but they looked pretty decent for at least the first 5 minutes of that set. So that should be a good match. I would love to see SG1 versus Reunited. No offense to Deathmatch Gang, but I really want to see where SG1 is. They've beaten Reunited in the past. Misfits and Melty, Too Strong, and other team all still playing.